Dynamax, Latios, and Latias are in max battles this weekend, and I don't want you guys wasting max particles and not getting the most out of this event. So today we're breaking down this event, the best tips to follow to get the most out of it and your max particles. Let's get into it. So this event is going to be Saturday, July 26th, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Sunday, July 27th, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. That's when the max battles will be active. Specifically, power spots will be refreshing every hour with a Dynamax Latios or Latias battle. We'll also have the bonuses of your daily max particle collection limit increased to 1,600 instead of 800. You only need to walk 0.5 kilometers to collect 300 max particles, and you'll get 8 times max particles from power spots, so 800 or 820 from a new power spot. We'll also have the active bonuses from July 21st, 6 a.m. to July 27th, 9 p.m., in which unlocking and powering up max moves will be reduced to 3/4. So 300 to unlock a max move, 450 to power up to level 2, and 600 to level 3. There'll also be a free timed research that you can go ahead and complete between the same time period, getting you Dynamax Ghastly candies, max particles, and more, and there'll be a tip on what to do with that soon. Now, as I mentioned, you don't want to waste max particles during this event, and you can actually get more out of your max particles if you do a couple things. The first off, during this event, 3/4 price for unlocking and upgrading your max moves. If there's any Dynamax Pokemon you want to power up, now is your chance. Normally, it would take you 5 days of free max particles to fully max out your max attack, guard, and spirit on one Pokemon. During this event, though, it'll only take 4 days to do, and you'll have more max particles left over. The free timed research I mentioned as well does require you to unlock a max move and power max moves 3 times, so this is a perfect chance to do it. But if you are a free-to-play player, you can actually get more max particles to do an additional free Dynamax Latios or Latias battle if you collect them in the correct way. The trick is to stockpile max particles from the day before, but then also save the max particles you get from the timed research. Do not claim them, keep them in the timed research, and then claim them when you're ready to use them on a Dynamax Latios or Latias. Specifically, stockpiling 1,700 max particles on the Friday before the weekend. You'll do this by getting as close to 1,500 max particles as you can. So for example, visiting like 14 power spots, and then claim the max particles from walking, and this will take you over the 1,500 limit to 1,700. Also, save onto the 1,400 max particles you get from the timed research, leaving you to a total of 3,100 max particles going into the weekend. Once the max battle day does start, go ahead and use those max particles, rinse them out. Then the same strategy follows. You're going to want to go ahead and claim up max particles to as close as the daily limit as you can. The daily limit during this event is going to be 1,600. So claim up to 1,500 max particles, then claim 800 max particles from hitting a power spot, and you will be able to get up to like 2,200 max particles on that day. You can then go ahead and do this on day 2 of the event. If done correctly, this will get you 5,300 max particles. That will give you 6 max battles. On top of that, if you check into a community ambassador meetup by going on Campfire, sorting by meetups, and looking for the ones hosted by a community ambassador, if you attend those meetups and you check in and you complete the free timed research you get from checking in, you will get an additional 800 max particles, which you can then use on another max battle for a total of 7. Remember to claim your max particles correctly, and again, bring max particles into the weekend and use those. Now, let's say you have all the max particles in the world. You still need to know how to take this boss down. Well, Dynamax Latios and Latias are legendary Dynamax Pokemon, meaning unlike Gigantamax, you can only have 4 people to battle them, so they're pretty tough. Let's go through the best strategies. Latios is going to be a Dragon and Psychic Pokemon with an attack of 268, HP of 190, defense of 212, and in terms of moves it can learn, it will be able to know Dragon Claw, Psychic, and Solar Beam. Latias, on the other hand, is also going to be a Dragon and Psychic, have an attack of 228, defense of 246, and HP of 190, with the moves it can learn of Outrage, Psychic, and Thunder. Latias is the red one, Latios is the blue one, by the way. That's how I remember them. Nonetheless, the best strategy to take on Dynamax Pokemon is as follows: to have 2 tank Pokemon in the front and then an attacker in the back. The goal of the tank Pokemon is, of course, to tank hits and stay alive while you build your max meter. Once you Dynamax or Gigantamax or whatever, switch into your attacker, use their 3 max moves to do a lot of damage, and then switch back into your tank, etc., etc. You can even have one person on your team of 4, which strictly has a tank heal role, so every time they Dynamax, they will just use max spirit to heal everybody. Nonetheless, the best max attackers for Dynamax Latios are going to be Gigantamax Gengar with G-Max Terror, Dynamax Gengar with Max Phantasm, Dynamax Single Strike Urshifu with Max Darkness, Dynamax Hatterene with Max Starfall, Gigantamax Lapras with G-Max Renaissance, and Dynamax Metagross with Max Flutterby. As far as tank Pokemon, the best are going to be Dynamax Metagross with the fast move Fury Cutter, Dynamax Blissey with Pound, Dynamax Corviknight with Sand Attack, Crown Sword Zacian with Metal Claw, Crown Sword Zamazenta with Metal Claw, and Gigantamax Gengar with Lick. If Latios does have Solar Beam as one of its charge attack, consider leaving and relobbing, as that's going to be a very hard-hitting attack. Now, Dynamax Latias is going to have the exact same best attackers, but the best tank Pokemon is going to switch, with the number 1 being Dynamax Blissey with Pound, Crown Sword Zacian with Metal Claw, Dynamax Metagross with Fury Cutter, Crown Sword Zamazenta with Metal Claw, Dynamax Excadrill with Mudshot, and Gigantamax Snorlax with Lick. Consider having 2 separate teams teams that you can build in the battle party menu for Latios and Latias, but also if you have the same team for both, they work pretty similar. Remember on your Dynamax attacking Pokemon to power up their Dynamax attack to the highest level you can, and on your tank Pokemon, if you're going to be healing, power up Max Spirit to the highest level. Now remember I mentioned Solar Beam's not good on Latios. Well, what are the ideal moves you want on these Pokemon? Now first of all, we have large attacks which will hit every single Pokemon in the Dynamax lobby and you cannot dodge them, and then there will be targeted attacks which will focus on one Pokemon. Specifically if they have max guard up, it'll target them even more, but you can dodge this move by when there is a Spidey sense on you, you can swipe right or left to dodge this move. Trainer Colonel Sanders actually did a test, and depending on when you dodge, you will be able to reduce more damage or less, so dodge after the 2 flashes on the Spidey sense. Nonetheless, if Latios does have Solar Beam as its large attack, consider relobbying, and if Latias has Thunder as its large attack, consider relobbying because that's going to make it tough. Also, if you are struggling with these battles, here's a couple tips to make them easier. Number 1, consider using Max Mushrooms, an item that's going to double your damage in max battles for 30 minutes. Also, consider battling with friends because best friends will give you a friendship boost in max battles, and consider battling in Weather Boost if you can. Weather Boost will affect the damage you are outputting, so if your type of move is boosted by the current weather, you'll be doing more damage. Finally, if you're really struggling, consider using Zacian's Adventure Effect Behemoth Blade. This will give you a 5% bonus damage in max battles. I know it's not a lot, but it does stack on with all the other bonuses I just talked about, so it's 5% on top of all that. Again, these are very good tips, especially for people with not the best counters or with maybe not 4 whole people to battle these. Do remember though, after 6 minutes, the max battle boss will become enraged and will start one-shotting all your Pokemon, so if you don't defeat it in 6 minutes, try consider relobbying and trying again. Also, if you do die in a max battle, don't think all hope is lost. If you cheer in a max battle, you will actually fill the max meter quicker for the people who are still alive. A pro tip, if there's only like 1 or 2 people left alive, when you guys are in the Dynamax phase, consider not attacking. This will give the people who are cheering more time to cheer and fill that max meter, as it does continue to fill their cheering meter while you are attacking. So consider not pressing your max attack, just let the game automatically choose for you. Pretty much just like stall the clock and it'll give them more time to build their max meter. Now this all begs the question, is this max battle day actually even worth playing? And honestly, they're all worth playing because you get free max particles to get free resources in Pokemon Go, but also Latios and Latias are not bad. Starting off with Latios, which is the better of the two. Specifically, Eternatus is coming out during the Go Fest Max Finale event with an attack stat of 268. It's going to be the strongest Dragon and Psychic type max attacker in Pokemon Go to use against that boss. Also, outside of max battles, it's pretty good, with Dragon Breath and Dragon Claw being the number 34 Dragon type attacker, Zen Headbutt and Psychic, it's the number 19 as a Psychic type attacker, and if you Mega Evolve it to get Mega Latios, which you can, you'll have the number 12 Dragon type attacker and number 3 Psychic type attacker, so a very good Pokemon. Latias, on the other hand, not as good, but still good. With a high base defense of 246 and access to Dragon Breath, it's a great tank Pokemon. It can build a max meter quick and tank a lot of hits, especially against things like Grass, Fire, Water, Electric, Psychic, or Fighting type attacks. Obviously, Blissey and Crown Sword Zamazenta are kind of the goats of being tanks, but still a very good option. And you can Mega Evolve this Pokemon. Mega Latias is the number 15 Dragon type attacker and 9 Psychic type attacker in Pokemon Go. Overall, Latios is a must, Latias is a maybe. Now, before this event, remember to go into your advanced settings and download all assets. This will download all the assets to your phone, so your phone is pulling the assets off your phone, not the internet, making for a smoother gameplay experience, and you'll use less internet. You can also activate native refresh rate while you're in there. Also, remember to use Pineapple Berries or Silver Pineapple Berries on any Latioses or Latias you'll be catching. Pineapple Berries multiply catch candy by 2 and Silvers by 2.34, also making it easier to catch the raid boss. That's the one I'd go with. Also, remember to Mega Evolve a Dragon or Psychic type Mega during the event, because that will get you more candies for Latios and Latias that you catch during this event. Specifically, you can Mega Evolve either Mega Charizard X, Mega Slowbro, Mega Alakazam, Mega Ampharos, Mega Gardevoir, Mega Glade, Mega Medicham, Mega Altaria, Mega Salamence, Mega Latios, Mega Latias, Mega Rayquaza, or Mega Garchomp. Definitely have those Megas active. Also, before the weekend even starts, consider going around and battling the max bosses there and dropping Pokemon into power spots. This makes it so every time somebody battles a max boss that you've dropped into, they will get a damage multiplier, but you will also get candy in return. So not only can you power up the power spots around you by dropping in advance, but also you'll be able to grind candies for any Pokemon you drop into there. Dropping in legendary Dynamax Pokemon that you might have caught, rare Gigantamax Pokemon, Cubfu are all good options as a way to grind candy, especially because everyone's going to be out grinding Dynamax bosses. Now, if you don't actually care about these bosses in terms of relevance, you might care in terms of resources, because Dynamax legendaries are some of the best ways to grind them. Number 1 tip, by battling in person, you're going to be getting 12 Premier Balls instead of 10, so consider doing these battles in person, although you can do them remote. You'll also gain an additional 2,500 XP every max battle you take down. But even excluding that, you normally get 15k XP and 15k Stardust from a legendary Dynamax boss, and you can spend 200 coins to double this to 30k of each. Up to you, it can get expensive. The better way to double double it is by using a lucky egg or a star piece, which will be an item that will last for 30 minutes, getting you multipliers. Lucky eggs will double your XP, getting you 30k XP per battle, 60k if you double it. But if you run a star piece, you'll get a 1.5 times multiplier on the Stardust you get. So 22.5 Stardust, 45k Stardust if you double it. The best way to use lucky eggs and star pieces is by sharing them with your friends through the party feature. Party up with 4 friends, and when you use a lucky egg, you will be getting 2 times the value. Use a lucky egg on yourself, you get 30 minutes of lucky egg. But if you use it in a party, everybody gets 15 minutes. So you're giving out an hour of lucky egg versus 30 minutes. By teaming up with your friends, if everybody drops 4 lucky eggs and 4 star pieces, everyone in that party is going to go ahead and get 4 hours of lucky egg and 4 hours of star piece. Way better just using on yourself. You can only share 4 a day, which kind of sucks, but definitely good if you're going to use those items anyway. Also, while you're catching Latios and Latias, and especially to make it easier to catch them on pineapple berries and silver pineapple berries, use the Ice Burn Adventure effect during this event. Ice Burn will give you a 1.5 times catch multiplier, making it easier to catch legendaries or any Pokemon in Pokemon Go. You can couple this with the silver pineapple berry and be catching Latioses and getting a lot of candy for them. If you don't have that and only have free shock from Black Kyurem, you can use it, but it's only a 1.25 times catch multiplier, which is obviously not as good. Finally, I can't stress enough going to a meetup during this event and finding people to battle with. You only really need 4 people to take these on, but going on campfire, sorting by meetups, and looking for meetups in your area that you can attend to is going to be great. That's where you'll find the players. Again, kudos to going to the community ambassador meetups, because that's where you'll get a timed research that will get you 800 free max particles. But if you can't go to that, any meetup is great. Pokemon Go is always better with friends. Watch these other 2 videos on screen if you enjoyed this one, guys. If you want to learn more about Dynamax and some more tips and tricks about it, watch this video on screen. And good luck during this weekend. Follow for more tips. Peace.